What's going on, guys? Today we're going to be talking about 11 key traits of a good woman. So if you're kind of on the fence about what to look for when you're trying to find a good woman, you're not going to want to miss this video. You are in the den with Aaron EBM. I appreciate you being here because you could have been anywhere else, but you decided to be here with me. If you are new to the channel and you haven't hit that like or subscribe button, go ahead and do so. It's free. It won't cost you anything. Plus, you always get to see me. I'm no stranger to the dating market. I know it is crazy out there. A lot of the young women are wild and uncontrollable, and a lot of the older women, 40, 50, 60 years old, are bitter and delusional, it seems like. But there is hope if you're trying to find you a steady girlfriend or hopefully a fiance in the future, or maybe even a wife if that's what you want to do. So in today's video, I'm going to show you 11 key traits to help you hone in on that right girl for you. So let's get right into today's video. So today's video, we're going to be talking about 11 key traits to look for in a good woman so you can find that good woman for you. Trait number 1, the ability to compromise. So the ability to compromise is an underappreciated trait. Why? Because it impacts both minor and major things in you guys' life. And you can see right early on in the courting or dating phase of your relationship that if a woman is unwilling to compromise at the little things like where you want to go out to eat, what movie you want to watch, or what kind of sheets you want to put on the bed, you have to think to yourself, what'll happen when you come to those forks in the road in your relationship, when you have bigger decisions to make and she is unwilling to compromise, and everything will be either her way or no way. That's a major red flag, and that'll be a major hindrance in your relationship. It can almost be detrimental at times. So the ability to compromise is a must. Pay attention early on. If she's a woman that only be satisfied with things being in her favor or her way, that'll be something that you really need to look at, because it might not be something that you can pass in the future. Number 2 on the list is nurturing. The nurturing trait is also important. There's nothing worse than being with a woman that is unnurturing. If you get to the point of having kids, you'll be the one changing the diapers, doing all the feeding. Hell, she might even strap one of those fake boobies to your chest for you to do the man breastfeeding. You never know. And I know you're gonna ask, how else can you find out if a woman's nurturing before you have babies with her or not? It's simple. See if she cares about you when you're hungry. See if she cares about you when you're sick. Does she ask about how your day is? If you're limping, hell, does she ask you what's wrong or why you're limping? These are the signs or the traits of a nurturing woman. So make sure she has that early on. If she doesn't take time out to think about how you're doing, how your mental well-being is, then that might be something to look at. It might be a red flag. You might need to see if that's the kind of woman that you can have a long-term relationship with. Trait number 3, supportive. Is she supportive? Is she understanding of you being on your purpose? Is she going to have your back 100% of the time when you need her to have your back? Is she supportive of your goals, not your pipe dream, the real tangible goals that you have in place for yourself in order to make yourself a better man? Will she be there to support you in the pursuit of your goals, or will she just laugh at you and feel like her goals are more important than yours? Is she a ride or die for your goals, or is she just wanting you to support her in all her dreams? Number 4 trait is passionate. Is she passionate about the things that she does in her life? Is she just a nonchalant person that doesn't care about the big things in her life? Is she not passionate about the little things in her life? Is she passionate about keeping a house clean? Is she passionate about keeping her car clean? These are the things also that will transfer into bigger things in life. So make sure she has a passion about something. It might not be the biggest thing. It might not be career-wise. It might be a passion about taking care of kids or a homeschooling parent. Or if your kids are in the public school system in the future, is she passionate about their education and being involved? Passion is another big one. Make sure she has passion, and make sure she has focused passion on something. You have to have it. That's a big one. Number 5 trait is honest. That is another big one. She has to be honest. Make sure that she doesn't lie to you about little things. Make sure that she doesn't keep everything from you. Now, I know you're never going to be able to find out if every little thing in a person's head. You'll just never know that. But you don't want her lying and being secretive in the future, using those secrets as manipulation. You need to make sure that she's honest and she's forthcoming with things in you guys' life. You don't want her keeping away secret debt, or you don't want her to feel like she can't tell you something because in all actuality, we all been there. I was just protecting you. You don't want those things. You want her to be honest with you and be honest up front. It's the only way you guys are going to be able to grow if you feel like you want to have a long-term relationship. The number 6 trait is self-esteem, but a balanced self-esteem. You don't want her to go around feeling like she is unpretty or asking you all the time. Think about whether she's pretty or asking you if she's ugly all the time. She needs to have a healthy self-esteem. She needs to feel like I can go out and fix myself up and make myself look good. But at the same time, you don't want her to have an ego that's so inflated that she needs outside validation to make her feel good. That's called a balanced self-esteem. And we all want to go out and feel good and look good. Otherwise, we wouldn't buy the colognes and we wouldn't buy the cars and clothes that we use to attract these ladies. So make sure that she has a balanced self-esteem, and you can help her by complimenting her sometimes about how she's dressed, complimenting her about how she smells sometimes and what she looks good in and what you feel like she doesn't really look so good in. The next on the list is empathetic or empathy. Who wants to be hard? If you're the man in the relationship and she's the feminine woman that you want her to be, you don't want her to actually be hard and rough and tough and be non-empathetic of people. You want her to kind of have an empathy or an empathetic spirit. You know, that way, you know that your children in the future will have a great, nurturing, empathetic mother. When they hurt themselves or they need someone to talk to, she'll be empathetic and understand that she needs to be there to kind of help boost those kids and love those kids. And then you'll be at peace knowing that you have an empathetic person around you and your kids. Empathy will also help other people trust you. If you're in business together, the woman plays a big role in that because she can connect with other women that you guys are doing business with. That empathy is a big thing. A lot of men don't have, or I won't say a lot of men, some men don't have it, but most of the time women have a little bit more of that nurturing or empathetic spirit because that's just them. And that's a good and valuable trait to have. Make sure she has empathy. Otherwise, she won't give a damn what happens to you. And if she has that non-empathetic spirit, most of the time it's all about her. The next trait is forgiving. Because we all know, guys, we all going to mess up sometimes, and we all want that grace, right? We want that grace. So make sure that she's a forgiving woman. Make sure that she has some kind of forgiving spirit, because we're human. We're going to mess up. We're not going to do things exactly how we say we're going to do them. And sometimes we don't always come through with those promises that we say and we promise that we're going to keep. So make sure that she has a forgiving spirit, because if not, every time you mess up, you're going to be in that same crossroad to where, hey, I might not have this woman again. So make sure at the end of the day, so make sure that she has that forgiving spirit. Next one on the list is self-respecting. Make sure she's self-respecting, because this one comes up a lot. If you see a lady that has a lot of Instagram traffic and she posting a lot of butt pics, all of that stuff like that, it's not going to really fly for most of the well-balanced men out there. Some men can look past that, but most well-respecting men, men that are in the community and do a lot of things for the job, if they're a corporate person, is going to want a woman that is self-respecting, you know, that I'm not going to have to argue with about every time you go outside, whether you're wearing clothes that are too revealing all the time. It's self-respect, and a woman should automatically have that thing in her head to know whether she's being self-respectful or not. You don't want to argue about whether she's self-respecting, because we all know in this society you can't hardly say anything to women, because then we'll turn misogynistic. So make sure she already has it in her mind whether she's a self-respecting woman or not. The next one on the list is responsible. Make sure she's responsible. Pay attention to whether she's paying her bills on time or talking about how she's late all the time. That's important. Why? Because that's a part of life. If you do decide to take it to that next level, it can impact your credit. It can impact your relationships if you have to borrow or do things with other people. And if she's not responsible, turning things in late or not doing things like she said she's going to do, or being forgetful, those are things that can impact you and be really frustrating in the future. So make sure she's responsible. Another key trait to look for when you're looking for a good woman. And last but not least is realistic. I know it sounds small, but it is very big. I don't know how many times I've been around the internet and I hear women talk about, I want to get this bag because I want everything I want without having to sacrifice or without having to give anything up in the process. And that's just not realistic. You know, the only people in this world that can just buy or do whatever they want is, Bill Gates, Elon Musk. And if you really even think about it, they can't even do the things they want, because the things they want are even bigger. So they can't just go buy the things that they want. Look, right now, Elon Musk is trying to buy Twitter and is having a hard time buying Twitter. So they don't even get all the things they want. So women need to understand and be realistic that no matter what, they're not going to get everything they want in life. And they can't make you feel as a man that because you can't drop everything and spend all the money on them, that is something is wrong with the relationship and something is wrong with you. That's not how it goes. Most successful men don't spend and don't do all of those crazy things at the drop of a hat and are impulse buyers and shoppers. So women need to know this. And if you find a woman that is realistic, that does know that they can't spend all their money or can't do all these crazy things at the drop of a hat, she's a keeper. There, my friends, are the 11 key traits of a good woman. Now, I know everybody has a different set of traits, a different set of things that they can find a good woman, and that's fine. That's good. But this is mine. I feel like there's a lot of good, impactful things that a person needs to look for when they're looking for that woman. Let me know what you think, guys. Let me know if this is a good list. Let me know what are some of the things that you would add to the list. And let me know if you like the content. If you did, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. You know I can't do these things without you. So I appreciate all the engagement. Next time, you guys be safe out there. Until next time, peace.